I think we all know here in the back of our mind that it's important for us to use less trash. But you're right, like the leaders, we have to take action to kind of help educate people and motivate people in how we can improve. And I think something important that you mentioned was that a lot of it is food waste. So if you could talk a little bit about the food waste portion and why it's important to divert that type of waste.
Let's say first thing, the most important part of my answer could be like that we have to think a little bit to change the use of the word. We call this thing, magical thing, trash, but trash it's like in Italy the people call them at the beginning unsorted trash, but we call it now residual trash from the separate collection. So it's a different way of thinking, because if you call it like unsorted trash, it means that it's mixed only and you can trash it in the landfill. The main problem of this is that let's say it depends by the type of a society. More of a society is poorer. Let's say a lot of South American countries, if I look to Brazil, the rich part it's normally in the south and the poor part it's in northeast of Brazil. If I go in northeast of Brazil, 60% of the trash in the landfill is food waste. Because if you don't have money, you have to buy food. So this is why the majority of trash it's food waste.
And that's in lower income communities,
Yes.
have more food waste as well.
Let's say in the problem of the US that I said you before, it's that let's say if we can count the average quantity of let's say trash produced in a heavy industrialized region like mine, that is Lombardy in Italy, we can talk about half a ton, so 500 kilograms. In US the average it's about 1 ton, so it means that if we compare, the average American is producing twice the waste of the most industrialized region in Europe.
Wow.
So this is the first problem, and this problem it's generated by the capacity of the, let's say, storage in the house, the quantity of liters of gallons of the beans, and also the different type of big distribution of let's say supermarkets.
Right.
Like we don't have like Target, Costco, Walmart or whatever. And for the people to understand, let's say that I want to prepare something with bacon, let's say like pasta alla matriciana.
That sounds delicious, and I don't even know what that is.
I will cook for you. So the problem is that the first time that I came in US in 2012, I went to the supermarket in New York, and I was shocked because the smallest quantity of bacon that was available was half a kilo. In Italy we have, I don't know, 150 grams. So
Wow.
what is the problem? The problem is that it's cheaper to buy more, so I will not use it and I will waste it.
Right. I have literally seen that at the store, actually, when I want to buy a large packet of anything, because it's just me and my son at home, and then I see a smaller package, which would be better for us, but it actually costs the same or more than the bigger package. So that's interesting, and I never thought about the way that plays into our waste.
It's a commercial way to force you to buy big quantity, but that you don't need. It's the same thing that if you think about why the average American is producing so much waste, is that you are buying a lot of things that you don't need, so you'll waste it. And you can find it specifically also internal the same country. If you compare, for example, São Paulo, Rio de Janeiro in Brazil with São Luís, that is in the north, the behavior of the consumers change completely. You are in the same nation,
Right.
but completely different. I'm working a lot also in Panama. Panama is very interesting because there is no, let's say, criminality. There is like the average salary is the highest of Latin American country, and the consumer mindset is a little bit Americans. So the system of collection is the same with a single bin or maximum 2 bins. but the quantity of the waste, it's completely different. For example, in Panama City and outside. Outside, the people has lower salary, so they produce, for example, a lot of glass because they drink a lot of beer.
Right.
But now they're not separated, and when I check what it was in the collection, it was mainly glass and food waste and plastic, but we call it trash.
Right. And it's
So it was 100% recyclables. So it's how
It was
we
all-
call it. It's
when you say recyclables, like it all could be diverted, right? Because it's
Yes.
food waste and then plastic and glass. So it literally none of it could go to a landfill.
let's
which
say
is
that
okay.
at the end of the diversion, let's say that the only trash that it's really trash could be let's say idealized and visualized with these things. Let's say plastic items. Just to show.
Okay.
This one it's plastic packaging. So the main thing is that if I took like your pen,
Uh-huh.
it's all also in plastic, but it's an item. So this thing on international market, the value could be $5 for ton. This one it's $500 for tons. So if I put together, how much is the value for you?
500 per ton, and what was that one? $5?
This is $5. This is 500 for ton.
505.
This is like the answer of my children at school, but unfortunately it's not true. So
I had a feeling that was coming.
the value of these two together is zero, because who want this one that is high value doesn't want this. So what the people can say when I explain this is that, but also this is plastic. The problem is that you have dozens of different polymers, and the market is different. So if I let's say can explain to the people how to make the separation, I can technically sell things that I am paying to throw it in the landfill with high value. And the majority of the things that you buy in supermarket, it's plastic and metal packaging. Also, for example, Tetra Pak, it's a thing that you can separate. But it's like, for example, the container for the juice or whatever. Everything. Think about the eggs are in a carton box.
Sometimes plastic now too.
Or plastic, but it's a packaging, so it's recyclable. Doritos, every type of chips, every type of biscuits. Also, if it feels that inside it's aluminium, it's only plastic painted. So
Okay.
it's plastic packaging. It's only to explain that 90% that you have in your shopping cart, it's recyclable. What is finishing the trash? We say like plastic items, latex. So everything that is latex, that could be like everything for cleaning or gloves or whatever. Everything that I clean in the house with a vacuum cleaner, like I don't know, the Dyson bag or the vacuum cleaner. Cigarettes, chewing gum, everything that it's let's say some forks or whatever that are not compostable. Then like videotapes, DVDs, but also in this we don't have it anymore. When I'm making educational, let's say programs with children, I have to explain what is it. So
They're like, what's a DVD?
yeah,
Tape.
or a music tape.
Yeah.
So now my let's say strategy to explain to the children is to show to them the Guardian of the Galaxy. At the beginning it was like listening to this thing, and they don't know what is a Sony Walkman. They don't know what is it.
Yeah.
So I have to explain. Now it's interesting because the industries had already changed the packaging, and the final result is that the real trash is very few. Let's say on 100 kilograms you have maximum 10-15 kilograms of things that it's going to landfill. Now it's the opposite. You are recycling, diverging 15-20%. So the
That's
potential is huge.
Right.